One guy I truly despise in this show, out of many other characters or a number of characters, is Mr. Cavalier. That guy, oh, that kid, that dude, that thing.
Damn.
I don't even know if he's human. We don't know if he's synth. Dude lies easily, walks around barefoot, acts like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, just over the top.
He ain't lying.
And he's always got this issue of beef with Kirsch. I don't know where that's coming from. I mean, there's a clip I saved which kind of hints, for me anyways, like, oh, I can see why he's like this, but I don't really care. I was trying to connect with him to see where he's coming from, to see what his mindset is like, especially with the first episode. And with the idea of taking sick children, I did wonder when he transferred the sick children's consciousness into the synth or hybrid bodies. I did think to myself, is this procedure only designed, or is it only capable to transfer? Basically, why sick children? Why not just any other healthy children? And then the story he told them is that because they're all young or they're children, their minds or their consciousness is able to handle the transfer from their dying bodies to the new hybrid bodies. But the way he's been talking lately, for all I care, that's a lie he spun to the children to make him feel this whole unique. Because he hasn't. I don't even want to say I feel. I'm beginning to think he can't do it with adults because they're harder to control. But even that doesn't make sense to me because sometimes in different parts of each episode, he's shocked as to what Wendy can do. So even he doesn't know what he's done, but it's like he treats people like playthings and all this whole, I own you, you work for me, so technically you're my property. I really don't understand where this thing really comes from. To want to own people and control people. It's a very strange thing to observe in some human beings. I won't say human nature, because if that was human nature, then I would have the same thing, unless I have it and it's laying dormant within me. And the particular scenario or multiple scenarios haven't presented themselves yet for me to then activate that part of me that's within me, because I'm a human being. It's such a boy. I'm just fascinated as to where is this thing coming from. Even if he inherited it from his parents, and even the scene I'm going to talk about later, it looks like he doesn't have care for his parents. Dude, I can't wait till he gets his comeuppance, and it has to be slow. He can't be killed fast, or he can't die fast on this show. It has to be slow and very painful.
Damn, son.
My money's on the eyeball thing, but the eyeball thing wants to take over an intelligent host and use it rather than just killing for the sake of killing. So I don't know. I just want to see that dude get his comeuppance.
Damn.
But since there's 5 or 6 corporations that control the world, I don't even know how humanity let that happen. But, that's the story Homeboy's telling for this alien show. So it's Cavalier with the Proto something. I can't remember the name of the people. Cavalier, then there's Wayland, and then there's like 4 more, I think, or 3 more companies out there that own. Prodigies, there is Cavalier's people. This ownership thing, then there's this transhuman stuff of immortality. I don't know where this running away from human being is coming from. And what fascinates me is the people who work for Cavalier. Is the pay that good? Or there are no better jobs out there? Or are they passionate about what they're working on so much so that they don't care about the mannerisms or his attitude or his characteristics or his moral compass or his goodness or lack thereof? Basically, they don't care about him. All they care about is that the facilities exist. And in this future, this story that's being told has now come to a place where people who have great ideas, genuine people, should I say, who really have cool ideas, dope ideas that can transform people's lives, that can heal people, that can make lives better, where we stress less and move more in harmony with nature. They can't seem to get their ideas off the ground unless they go to these rich trillionaire people. And once they've approached these trillionaire people, there's always a massive catch.
Yes.
I'm talking from the perspective of Cavalier. We haven't seen Wayland yet, but then again, Wayland sent a spaceship to go and collect alien species and alien whatever organisms. I don't know whether to bring back to Earth or take it to a space station in space. But even that, because Wayland too, that idea of going somewhere you've never been to before, collecting species, and then bringing it back to your home base on Earth or any other planet doesn't make sense to me. I feel if you want to scour, you want to, traverse the universe and collect samples and whatnot and observe, then you can observe. But the idea for me personally, to go somewhere I've never been to, kidnap another species, put it on board my spaceship and conduct tests, right? And then to have a backup code within my programming or within my mandate to say, once you find these creatures, bring it back home. It just appears to me that no matter how rich these people are, they're highly incompetent.
Damn, son. And
they seem to create machines that they give orders to that supersede them. But yet they themselves haven't even reached a level of intelligence where you know what to do and what not to do. I don't care how many fail-safes you're going to have in your laboratory or in your space base or your island. Why are you sending people to go into space to bring back alien organisms? And even the spaceships don't seem to have serious fail-safes. Or unless it's a human being that's gone rogue and whatnot. And even that, it would make more sense to send androids like Ash and Bishop, like a bunch of them on one spaceship.
Willingly? Yes.
Because they keep making it look like these guys are super rich and they're intelligent. So any venture they want to put their funds in, they easily can. If that's the case, cool. Why not just send 10 synth, androids like Ash and Bishop on your spaceship to go and collect creatures and whatnot? Because there's less collateral damage. I mean, even if you say it's expensive, it'll be more efficient to have a bunch of androids on a spaceship than having human beings. And that way you reduce the risk of a spaceship, being overrun or overtaken by, I don't know, or even sabotaged by one human being who's like, oh, this is immoral. When you have a machine that you've told and you're programmed to do exactly what you tell it to do, why not just send 10 of those bad boys, or 5 of them, or 8, or 6, or whatever number you want to, on a spaceship with no humans whatsoever? Have Mother fly the spaceship, because that's autopilot. They don't even need to hibernate. But then again, since you have the money, you can do it in a way where they don't need to do any hyper. What's that thing called? Is it hibernation? That sleep thing. Go to whatever planets they find and bring whatever thing that they bring, or find and bring it back to a space station.
That boy is good.
I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of these people, but clearly I can't, because I don't think like these people. Money or not, availability of resources or not, it's even without using the word immoral, there's just some things I feel I have a max barrier where I'm like, I can't, this doesn't make sense to do. Not even intelligent because I have an IQ of omega gigaton, whatever. No, it's like, I can foresee the positive outcome and a bunch of negative outcomes. And it's a massive gamble to go and bring back alien species to your home base and then have the dream of trying to cure cancer and any other ailment and whatnot. The gamble is, what on earth or in space makes you think that whatever creature you find will have the potential and the capacity to heal one disease on Earth? Just one, not even all of them.
That's a good question.
The odds is astonishing, because once you find the creature, you have to draw blood from it. What if you find a creature that doesn't have blood, doesn't exist, or doesn't need to survive or need to exist with plasma? So whatever you draw from its personage, you have to synthesize that. You have to then conduct tests and whatnot. Don't they have an AI thing that can scan the life form they've kidnapped, run it against the biology of human beings or the human DNA, and then run it against the sickness or whatever disease you're trying to cure? And even all this disease thing, or we're just going to space to who? Some people are brave, man. I don't even know if that's the right word to use. Some people are really el pollo loco, like, some dumbass people out there who, just because they have this money thing, it's like, yeah, we can. Is it that the money allows a dormant part of the mind to be unlocked, to start having outlandish thoughts and ideas and visions as to, I want this thing, I want that. Like someone just saying one day, I want to own a planet. I want to own a planet. Like, genuinely, where is that coming from? Sometimes I even feel like I'm not human the way people say we're all humans. I feel very alien.
What do you mean by that?
I feel very, very alien from this whole collective. When I sit down and watch certain people gravitate towards certain things, I just find myself feeling like, yeah, I'm not from here. Like just watching this show, I'm trying to figure out everyone who's working for this Cavalier person, aren't they thinking? Like, don't they think prior to working for him? Or is there a thing where the episodes that will come later will then show they signed a contract somewhere, or because I don't know, maybe everyone that works in this company has had some surgery done, and because they've had some parts removed and transferred, because of that surgery, whatever part is in their body now belongs to Cavalier. So if he feels like flipping the switch, someone won't be able to walk or won't be able to breathe, won't be able to see anymore or hear anymore.
Damn.
That sounded very, very dark as I'm saying it. Very, very dark. And yet no one has found a way to just put a bullet in this kind of person.
God damn!
As dark as that sounds. No, I mean, if you read, you know what, let's just stop playing these clips, because I despise this kid, this thing. I despise this dude so much. Like watching him every time, I'm like, dude, just show me the alien creatures, man. I don't even care about the Xenomorphs anymore. There's two creatures I don't care about on this show. The Xenomorph and this Cavalier twat. Those two of them are so annoying. It's like the Xenomorph is played out. Just like the freaking Predator franchise. It's boring to me. You bully people, other creatures who aren't as powerful as you, as skilled as you, who don't have the same tech as you. I'm bored, man. I'm done with that franchise. This show has spoiled the franchise for me. Alien Romulus did a great job in reviving it for me. Again, the best alien movie for me, for my movie going experience, is Aliens, or Part 2 anyway. Aliens Part 2. Then Resurrection, because it's a fun experience. Then Prometheus was okay, even though that had a lot of problems. Everything else after that was just annoying. Then they revived it with Romulus. That also had some problems, but it was still a good time at the cinema. This show, however, I'm not even watching it with excitement and intrigue. It's just more of frowning. I'm constantly frowning. Like, what are people doing in this so-called future? I don't even care about the timeline anymore. People are just doing things because it sounds cool, or it sounds advanced. It sounds, oh boy. But I'm still, so no one can shoot this kid? Whatever, man. I guess the money's so good. All right, clip number 1. This one made me laugh, because when the fact that they even showed us that these guys are being monitored by Cavalier.
Where are you taking me? I don't understand why we had to leave the lab. What? Darling, can you please just explain to me what's going on?
What are we doing here? This isn't science. We're halfway through beta testing the hybrids, and he brings in who knows how many.
But again, it's like when you're working for someone like this, don't you understand how you know how people would do like background check? Your instinct to tell you this person is. That's why I said the money has to be so good for you to just be like, I don't like this prick, but let me just put my blinkers on, my blinders on, and just do the work, because it's 50-50. I'm even trying to figure out who needs who in this industry. Who needs who? It looks like obviously they need Cavalier, because if they quit and Cavalier fires them, he's bound to find other people who are equally as good as them or better. In my head before, I was thinking, yeah, Cavalier needs these two or people like them. But if you find someone who is as good as them or better, and they're down in their luck or they're struggling with finances, all you have to do is present them with this idea that that these two probably share. You can find probably more scientists, that you could find 4 more. These two quit and you find 4 more who are more efficient, or who listen more, or who don't even ask any questions. As long as they have a home, they can work on any ideas they want. Cavalier will be like, do whatever you want. But when I say jump, you ask me how high and where. Where am I jumping to? He seems to like this whole puppetry thing. I want to tell people what to do.
Yeah, she's not ready. Wendy, or any of them. This morning proves that.
Again, so
isn't there.
I just don't get the mindset of these kind of people who, when they're in the thing, but they haven't thought ahead, especially being that they're scientists. They haven't sat down to do the pros and cons, because normally that would be their job, right? That's the main job of any scientist, or I assume most scientists who are working on things that is bigger than their mind can handle. You want to make sure you do the pros and cons, especially with who you're working for and who you're working with. Just like, Batman did the contingency plan for any jail members that go rogue or that are compromised or that are taken over by mind control or something. If Clark Kent gets taken over, he's got kryptonite for Clark Kent. If Flash goes rogue or something, whatever, if something happens to the Justice League team, Batman has a contingency plan to shut each and every one of them down.
Nice.
I love someone like that on the team. I feel both of them, these two scientists, should have the exact same mindset, especially knowing the world that they live in with 5 corporations running the world or whatever the case. I can't remember. So once you know that Cavalier is capable of, again, aren't they aware? The way he talks to them, the way he's acted. You're telling me this is the first project they've worked on together. There's no backup, there's no backstory for Cavalier. There's no other people who've worked for him and say, hey, he's a little mean and whatnot. Even when you hear the guy talk, if I was working for someone like that, I would have shit all over the place in whatever we do to shut shit down just in case something goes off. I don't even know if I would want to work for someone like Cavalier, and because the guy is vile. Absolutely putrid.
Damn, son.
And the way these two degenerate, especially him, Arthur is here talking to his wife. You who work in a you work in an island where there's surveillance everywhere. The way he walked here as if he knows there's no camera here. If you had brought a device where he turned off or he blocked signals being being picked up by a device, it would show me he's thinking. He walked here, speed walking here with his wife, and he's doing like he's going to hide. You, come on, man. This is not your home. You live here, but you didn't build this place. You work for someone who's spying through the machines, who's listening to almost everything. He's listening to everything. Why would you then put yourself in this situation and talk out of your ass? And you must be assuming he can't be heard or seen here.
I don't know.
People like this dude worry me when they work for douchebags like Cavalier or like Lex Luthor in the recent Superman movie. You're working for someone, and when he shows you his true colors, you then panic. Who did you think he was in the first place? An angel? You work for the guy. Surely you have an idea of how douchebaggy this person is. Or you having this hope in your head he might change. Nah, dude, once someone is a particular way, see them as that. Especially when they talk to you or carry out a particular mannerism around you constantly. Constantly? This is a bad move on his part. This scene made me feel his wife is going to go rogue. His wife might sell him out.
Damn.
I wouldn't even be myself on this kind of island because I would feel every step of mine is being watched. Every step. When I go to the toilet to take a doo-doo or pee-pee or shower, I'm being watched. Even the food I eat, I don't even know who's doing whatever to the food, even if I prepare it, because by the time I go to bed, anything could be going down.
That's right.
As soon as I shut my eyes to sleep, anything could be going down. The air I breathe when I'm sleeping could be poison I wouldn't even know.
That boy is good.
So this panic he's doing here, I'm like, dude, too late. You should have panicked when this boy offered you a job. I would like a backstory for these two to see how they got hired by this prick. What's his name again?
What?
I would like to see a backstory. It's 4 episodes left. Hopefully one episode will cover the backstory for these two, the backstory for the spaceship, the spaceship that crashed, that released the alien subjects. Oh my God. And the people, those occupants of the spaceship too were brave. I don't know if they were brave or stupid. One of the two or both, probably.
Damn.
After seeing Life with Ryan Reynolds, I would not want to be on a space expedition dude, whatever spaceship you put me on, you'd have to have nukes on that spaceship. And whatever alien species we encounter, I would be asking my teammates, can this thing burn? Like when it's off its atmosphere or off its planet and we throw it into infinite space, can it freeze and just lose can it die? Can it be killed? Number one. If it cannot be killed by starting it from afar, we do not need to pick it up and put it on our spaceship. That movie is a beautiful, beautiful movie. It's just one of those things where it teaches you, don't screw around with shit you don't know.
You ain't lying.
This control of people with Wayland and Cavalier, and then this whole human beings are inferior. I'm surprised Cavalier doesn't have the whole island run by androids and hybrids only. I know he's testing the hybrid thing, yes, but I still feel he's lying about the whole only children can work. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, that's cool. But what I'm looking at is his intention. When things are created, or when he creates things, what is he looking? What is the desire? There's this idea of he wants to sell this product of the hybrids. Okay, to who? He clearly doesn't care about the people. He doesn't seem to have a respect for human beings, and I'm not sure he's one. I'm not sure he's a human. Maybe he's half human, half something, or his consciousness got transferred as well. I'm not sure he's human.
I don't know.
I mean, I could be wrong, because when he stood in front of the Xenomorph eggs, one of them opened. When the hybrid stood in front of him, they were just chilling. So maybe he's half human, half something, or maybe he's all human. But there's definitely a lack of self-love for sure. He comes from the position of, I have money and my name holds power. So when I enter a room, people know who I am. That's a status thing. There's no self-care and love because he doesn't have that. He doesn't know how to love other people.
Mm-hmm. Message.
We mapped out the steps. The
Oh, and Naya is doing, maybe they're listening to me. Bitch, I've been watching you since day one.
control groups, system checks. He sends them to a crash site, into combat.
Yes.
And this one
he
too. What
breaks
kind
a
of
rule.
wife? A boy. I would not want to be with someone like this, where you can see red flags. In fact, red flags are waving in front of your eyes, and she's doing yes, but no. That's a major red flag already. Wherever you married or wherever nah. If she can't see the bullshit and he's seen it first, she's more likely to sell homeboy out. I'm surprised because they're unable to have children, right? So with the future tech and all this, high tech and gadgets and whatnot, they can transfer consciousness or copy consciousness from point A to B. They can't cure cancer and they can't cure childlessness. Okay, sure thing, buddy.
He takes risks. Maybe that's why he's so
Why maybe?
far ahead.
Yeah, but that's not science. I mean, I don't care how rich you get. Like, something is or it isn't.
What do you mean by that?
Quantum mechanics.
Okay, that's,
Light is a particle and a wave.
yeah, theoretically, yeah. But we took the minds of children and put them in synthetic bodies. That's not theoretical.
Well, duh.
I mean, if we did this wrong, best case,
If we
got a
did
bunch of
this
the eyes
wrong,
around
is
things.
now you are now realizing, when people have their existential crisis or their panic moments, you have it at the wrong time. You should have had it at the time where someone says, let's put children inside AI body. You should have had this panic at the time someone pitched an idea to you. Now I'm trying to figure out if the idea was theirs or was Cavalier's. That's why I said I want a backstory. I want to see how Cavalier found these two.
Yes.
I don't know if they approached him or he approached them, and then some form of agreement was made. And because dude is a liar, man, they're knee deep. But the wife ain't seeing shit. She said, oh, maybe. Oh, you better start thinking of divorce.
Willingly?
Yes.
Human, worst case, we killed 6 kids.
That is not something we're flippant about. Ever.
I'm worried, and
It's now you're
I need
worried.
you to hear that. I think we need to think about what's gonna happen if this whole thing
Dude,
goes
you should have
down.
done that from the beginning. As soon as the dude brought 4 eggs, 4 creatures you've never seen in your human existence, then a spaceship crashes. That same dodgy boss sends the things you're working on. That alone should have been a cosmic, major, galactic red flag already.
That's right.
Cavalier's gaze was on the hybrids. This new spaceship crashes. Now the gaze is turned to whatever is on the spaceship. You don't know what's on there, but just this hunger for control, where it landed in my backyard, in my golf course. So it now belongs to me, and then it's just childish. Yeah, you argue with your lawyers and blah blah. Even the way they operate is childish. Even though him as a child is talking to Wayland, there's something I don't know how to articulate it yet, but it's just. I just felt, let me just record this video. I watched episode 4 today thinking, yeah, this show is dead to me. I'm not even watching an alien show anymore. I now want to see what the eyeball thing is like totally capable of. Not just hijacking the body, but seeing what it does after. Yes, it's a highly intelligent blah, blah, blah. Now I want to see what it can do with whatever host it's taking over. This part now, the whole thing goes to hell. It went to hell. It went to hell when you transferred consciousness from point A to B, or you copied it. It already went to hell a bit. You were on the road. Then you guys just went straight to the heart of hell when the boy sent out the things you worked on, whether it's your whole life works or whatever it is. He chose to send those things to a crash site. You haven't trained them. You haven't given them a training montage like with Neo in the Matrix when he sat down and had this thing jacked into him. And he got taught kung fu. So there's the mental training, there's the physical training. There was no real sit down to let him know, hey, this is what it is now. And it would have been cool to at least show that scene. Just to say they were starting to discuss, let's teach you about your bodies. You can't poop, you can't eat, you can't pee, you can't get tired. Then the spaceship crashes, and now the focus is changed to get whatever's on that spaceship. You don't even know what's on there. You just let me just collect what's on there because it's on my porch, it's on my backyard. So I'm just going to collect anything that's in there. Then you find the things. Sometimes when you look at a thing, you can be like, yeah,
I don't know.
no, let's send it back. It's one thing to say give it back to Wayland, but those creatures look so dangerous that you have to put him in a serious lockdown facility. I don't even know how airtight their facility is. And at least the eyeball thing and the xenomorph, I know the xenomorph can survive underwater or no, I don't think they can drown. Yes, they can, because when the tadpole thing that bursted out of the lung was in the liquid. So yes, just based off that, I assume they can definitely chill inside the water for a little while. The eyeball thing, however, if that thing got a hold of the crocodile, then dude, world is your oyster. So at least the xenomorph and the eyeball thing, I feel, yeah, those guys, island or not, they'll find land. They can chill inside the water for a while, they will find land. The eyeball thing, I think I have my money on him more because on it more. I said him. I have my money on it more because of the whole taking over, whatever host it attaches itself to. It doesn't need a gestation period. That's like once I find my target, it's game over. So at least that one, I know you give him again. You give it 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever host it takes over. If it's an aquatic host, you're finished. So they can talk and say, oh, island, and we'll separate from the whole mainland. Yeah, no.
That's right.
I don't see how it's going to be possible if you can take over the hybrid bodies of the children. I don't think that should be possible because they're not human and they're not organic, right? Because when Wendy jumped off the mountain, the first episode, landed on the floor, she didn't break or harm or injure herself in any way, shape, or form.
Aha.
I'm just saying, I hope they don't spoil it and do that because you haven't explained to us what they are exactly. But I know that if the eyeball is to take over Morrow, I know that one, because he's half android and half human, I know the eyeball will take over. But is it that the eyeball will attach itself to anything, or does it go after what it knows it can attach itself to? Because when it jumped on that little girl and she was, struggling to hold it back, when it jumped, I was like, is that an instinctive thing to do?
What do you mean by that?
What I'm trying to say is, I'm thinking that jump, that leap it did, I think was telling us, the audience, that there's a possibility it can take over the hybrid bodies. But that doesn't make sense though. I thought it needed a human brain or human host or a living organism to take over. Took over the sheep, took over the cat. Then surely you need a living organism. The hybrids aren't living organisms. They were made. They're like machines. The way Cavalier keeps talking about them, you're machines.
Yes.
So I don't know if the eyeball jumped out of instinct or jumped because it knows, hey, this is a potential get out of here card right here. And once it takes over the body, anybody in its path is game over. But that doesn't make sense because, again, we saw two creatures took over. Two creatures, and the first one was a cat, organic, living tissue. Second was a sheep, organic, living tissue. Living tissue. Living tissue. If it took over the xenomorph, however, now it would make sense for them to do that. It would make sense for the show to do that, but I doubt this guy, because the way this guy is doing this show is so wishy-washy. He doesn't have the balls to do it.
Wait a minute.
I'll be shocked if he did it though, but he doesn't have the balls to do it.
Damn.
Maybe he's hoping for season 2. I don't even care for this show if they do a season 2 or season 3. This show looks like it's something they can drag for a while just to milk the audience. I'm definitely not going to be part of that dunce nonsense. I mean, I'll watch it just to review the shit out of it, but I'm not like, there's no joy, there's no excitement, just frustration and something to just rant about, I guess. But it's still on the. I'm really looking at this whole human race thing, or the humanity or human beings are capable of this. If they're put in this situation, I'd like to know who the fuck is creating a situation to put human beings in. So it unlocks this latent douchebag mode.
He ain't lying.
Look at this one.
Hey, sweetheart.
I have good news. Such good news. I'm pregnant.
What?
I'm gonna have a baby.
No, that's impossible. You're a machine.
I'm not a machine.
See, what
Why would you
I
say
don't
that?
understand is no one seems to be. I thought because these two were part of the process of transferring the consciousness from point A to B or copying and pasting the consciousness. I thought they would have access to observing the children. At what point didn't they? How the hell did she even know they were here? Who told her that they were here? And they didn't even ask that question. Because when they left, they didn't show them leaving. And the way the husband was walking, Arthur was walking with this intent like, yo, we need to find a place to chill at and talk. This is serious. So how the frick did she know they were here?
That's a good question.
Did they have a beacon on them that she can follow? They didn't even react and say, how the hell did you find us? You just stood there and, hey, I'm pregnant. Oh, you're pregnant. You can't be pregnant. He says, is this, 1 minute, especially him, you sound serious. The next minute, dude, the fact that she says she's pregnant, I wouldn't have even spoken. I'd just be like, let her talk your talk, talk your shit. We need to go to the lab and find a kill switch to put on pause because what? And you can't be pregnant. Oh my God. My brain would have been spinning. Yeah. We didn't design you to have a coochie. If you can't poop and you can't pee-pee, you don't have the organ. What? You don't have a womb. Why would we put a womb in your system? Especially when you guys are beta. You're not the finished product. You're the testing phase. And with the testing phase, these people don't seem serious enough in terms of monitoring these children. He's crying that Cavalier sent the children to the crash site and seems to be nonchalant about it. Fine, because at the end of the day, they are his toys. They're his property. He can do whatever he wants with them. So homie getting emotionally attached is strange to me because you're working for someone. Surely you have an idea that this person's a prick.
Willingly? Yes.
So now this lady coming here saying she's pregnant. Conversation between me as the male scientist, I would just keep quiet. Let the wife keep talking because I'm like, what just came out of your mouth is erroneous because I'm part of the people who designed you. Unless again, when he was asleep, Cavalier found someone else to put a womb inside the girls. Outside of that, you can't be pregnant. It's impossible because we didn't build you like that. So by her saying she's pregnant, that's red flag saying, yeah, something is gone off. So what I'm saying is the fact that they don't even have any access to surveillance on the children. The husband, Arthur, seems to be, he looks like he cares, but you don't care enough to notice that this chick, I don't know what Tibbs or Dibbies, whatever her name is, she's already going off the rail bit by bit. You care, but you don't care enough to notice that something is off with her. So much so that she had to present the offness to you. And then this lady is talking about, oh, why are we even discussing this? That's you who know you built this thing or you partially built this thing, and you, in fact, not even whether even you built it or you didn't build it or you were part of the building or not the building, you have the schematics for the body.
That's right.
And in said schematics, there's no room for a womb if you can't poop and you can't pee-pee. How are you pregnant?
That's a good question.
So you don't have 24-hour surveillance. And even when they're sleeping or when they're shut down in shutdown mode or in sleep mode, you should be watching surveillance back to back. Or have Kirsch and all other androids like Kirsch or whatever the hell he is, have them watch the surveillance videos back to back. And if you don't trust machines, y'all better wake up early in the morning and watch their whole footage of what they were looking at, what they were saying. Maybe Cavalier likes to hire stupid people so he can just talk down to them, because this doesn't it's not giving me vibes of intelligence. You're working for someone who I feel you should have known was a prick from day one. But whatever, maybe the facility is nice, the pay is real good, the perks are off the charts. But what are you willing to give up about yourself working for someone as cruel as this boy child? Because he has money? He said it himself, it doesn't matter about the money. It's the science. Yeah, it's too late. You're having panic mode. It's too late. Once you people were doing children's mind inside your body, I don't accept that story anymore. That it's hard to do the adult mind or consciousness into a new body. Almost like the show Altered Carbon. I don't even buy that tale anymore because the Cavalier lies so much. For all I care, he's told them to spin the lie that only children will work, and sick children for that matter.
Damn.
I can almost bend and accept that, or you don't want to tell your parents or your loved ones that you exist, but you don't look the same anymore, even though some people would benefit from that relief.
That's right.
And I wonder what payment was what was paid out to the parents as well, to the family of the children, because the whole thing is just so shady. You bring children here and then you lie to them and you tell the parents, or you can't tell anyone that they're here. It's so, cloak and dagger. I wonder how much they got paid.
Don't ask questions.
This thing is vulnerable people, weak people, so you can manipulate and control, and fear and control, fear and control, fear and control over and over again. There's no advancement in the way he talks or the way he thinks. He's not new. He's not sharp. He's not unique. He's not different in the sense where it's like, yo, despite the amount of money he has, he genuinely cares about people. He wants to see people flourish. He wants to see people grow. That's why he found these sick children and decided to give them a new life and see what he's creating something for other people who are sick as well, children and adults, but he wants to test on children first to see how it works. But no, because you can, even though he had pitched that to the audience at the early stage, you can tell that's bullshit. His true nature is revealed each time he talks to the android, Kirsch.
Willingly? Yes.
Another thing as well is who has the failsafe? Who has the kill switch? Is it the scientists, both of them? Is it Cavalier or is it Kirsch? Because someone is constantly watching people. And Cavalier, I don't know if he has the ideas or just has access to infinite money. So his thing is, if I have access to infinite money, people will come to me and have ideas and I can buy ideas off them. Or I can buy them.
Damn.
I can give you exactly what you want, what you need, the facilities and the know-how and other experts. But you got to make sure that shit belongs to me, between me and you. So that means whatever contract we create, it's under my tutelage. And if you slip up and trying to back out of the deal early, then you lose all rights to it. And good luck trying to fight me with lawyers and whatnot. You won't win.
Mm-hmm.
Again, control, ownership and control. And yet this is the person you want pioneering transhumanism and the future of mankind, not under your rulership. And what's this thing to want to rule people as well? Where the fuck is this shit coming from? Even in human nature, let alone in movies. You want to rule someone? Ah, boy. I said it before earlier on, man. I don't feel I'm even human at all.
But why?
When I think how I think, I'm like, yeah, maybe something's off with my brain because everybody be thinking the same and they're okay with it. So maybe I'm the one who's off. Boy, damn.
Let's start over, shall we?
This is the part where I was like, yeah, this dude is not something is completely off with you. Either you're messed up synth or messed up hybrid, or you're just messed up.
Damn.
And there's no excuse. You're just a messed up human being.
It's nice if you like brothers, which I don't. Or fathers, or mothers, you know?
Yeah, that
Always
part.
telling us
I was
what
like,
to do.
where did that come from? Where on earth did that come from? So he slipped. He doesn't care anyway. Always acting like he's so, carefree and I'm so down to earth and so, woo and hippie. Nobody give a shit, bitch. You're vile.
He ain't lying.
The mother's a part where it's like, always telling us what to do. I'm like, you're doing the exact same thing. He acts like he's giving free will to everyone, but it's still under this guise of control. And then when they decide to show more of a, I don't want to say rebellion, it's almost like saying, no, your idea is all right, but I have a better thought or better vision. Then he starts to like, when they show like, yo, I don't like where you're going with this. This is where I want to go. So, oh, you think you have control. Then it reminds them, oh, you work for me. I'm Prodigy. I own everything. The biscuits you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe are practically owned by me with the machine it's just yada, 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 yada. So he acts like he's got this environment where you can come and play and come and be yourself and Neverland and Peter Pan and you can be, innocent and be free and all your ideas. I don't even know. I don't think dude knows what he really wants, to be honest.
Message.
To jump from the hybrids to the alien organisms and to be so infatuated with them. What do you see? You want to again, it's this control thing. Okay, you have them on lockdown. You run tests on them for what? There's one dialogue he made in the first episode. I can't remember, paraphrase, where he said he wants to have an intelligent conversation. I was like, what does that mean? That doesn't make any sense. So the AI in this story is not sharp enough to have a convo with. Just sit down and talk to Mother and let Mother talk back to you, like their version of Siri, but more advanced. You want to talk to an alien species, said intelligence. So it's like he's got this thing in his head. Where that's coming from, I don't know. Or is it one of those things where he was born, again, hence prodigy. He was born a child prodigy. His parents weren't sharp enough, so he despises his parents, and all they did for him, all they gave him was control. Do your homework and eat this and yada yada yada. Yet he's displaying that same thing he seems to express dismay for. Always telling us what to do, but you're doing the same thing with. Yeah, I can't wait to do another video, man. Don't want this video to be too long. Dude is weird. It's weird. And it's a shame. This show could have been so much better with all the aliens running amok on the island.
Yes.
And even in the city. I'm just bored of the politics. I own you. The lung in your heart or the lung in your balls, the lung in your backside is mine. If you sneeze funny, I'll turn it off. I control. Boring, dude. Freaking boring. Boring. Do something different. So I don't like watching shit like this. This constant subconscious projection of the future is going to be, it's going to look like this, where corporations own the planet. Fuck, dude, what? Yeah, I'm out of peeps.